You mentioned the, I suppose, education and employment there as well. You're saying it's got a very high unemployment rate
Mm.
as well. I suppose, is this widespread or is it just in pockets of, I suppose, different regions of Cork, or do you see it across the board?
It's across the board. It's more across the board now than it was ever. But particularly within deaf schools within the north side, it's the deaf schools are being hit by the lack of funding, and the attention, as I said, the personal attention is something that is being missed. I myself was dyslexic, and when I went through secondary school and primary school, that wasn't picked up, and when I couldn't read what was on a blackboard, I then obviously acted out in ways that the teachers found me unmanageable to teach, you know. But if I got the proper one-to-one supports, which I know that I didn't get due to cuts, I could have, maybe doing a lot better in school. It's like I went through my first year in college in CIT, and I didn't learn how to read and write to my first year of college, you know. So I went through the whole schooling system not knowing how to read and write, and if I did, it was probably a lot of bluff, and having to learn all these new things again on top of studying in college. But luckily I got great support at third level.
Excellent, excellent. And I suppose just on that as well, I mean, I suppose nowadays in 2019, we do hear a lot of words being thrown around like the recovery is happening and austerity is over and things are improving and the economy is thriving. Realistically, are you and I suppose your constituents down in Cork, are you seeing the benefits of that?
No, no, because like even like years ago, like going back 5 years ago, people were saying, "Oh, if you get a job, and you can afford X, Y, and Z," but that's not the case now. You have two working people working in the family now in as a partner. So like if there's two people working, they're still feeling the pinch because you have high childcare costs. You have high no, they say it's a free education system, but they're asking for book fees, money for uniforms, and then also outside of that, then you have the expense of actually the rent. The rental market is the only solution that this government has to deal with our housing crisis, and it's actually making it's a cash cow for people because people are going into the rented market where they'll have to pay X, Y, and Z, but yet these people are not eligible for a mortgage, which is very it's a mind boggling because these people can pay €1,200 a month and struggle to pay €1,200 a month on rent, but yet they can't pay €800 on a mortgage with something that's going to be theirs. And Ireland pride themselves on being landowners or homeowners, and a lot of Irish people do that. It's a cultural thing to have something that's yours that can't be taken away. But unfortunately, they can bail out the banks, but they can't put the funds that actually support people on the ground.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think across pretty much the whole country. I mean, I think everybody could agree with you in that regard. And absolutely, I think the recovery across the country is. It sounds great on paper, but then I suppose when you see it in action, there's not much action to be seen.
There's a big divide at the moment. There's the upper middle class, which are doing very well, and then it's the rest of us, which are struggling. And these could be two, as I said, two people in a family working, or this could be like single mothers are struggling big time due to the cuts. And like lone parent people on disability, it's a hard time to actually live in Ireland at the moment. If you have a disability or if you're a member for myself being a member of the travelling community, it's like you're over there, you're down there, and the education system is designed then to depress them, to keep people down. And it's very hard to progress because you look at even the education system to third level. There's fantastic supports there, but the way the accommodation issue is going again. They're building these lovely big apartments which only upper class people or middle class people can afford, and then like you're saying education accessible for everyone. It's not, because what if someone from Athlone wanted to move to Cork to study in UCC, and then they have to pay ridiculous rents in digs that these landlords or developers are getting away with. Education is not for everyone, then you're actually targeting the elite, which is not fair, because education can allow people to progress, it can allow people to mobilise, because education is the way forward for our youth. Because if we ever want people to stay within Ireland, yes, educating them is a good thing, but we need people to be individuals so they can actually create jobs here in Ireland.
Okay.